Hey, I thought I would make another video just because it's been a minute and some stuff has played out in my life. It's been busy. I mean, my classes are extremely just like stressful, honestly. So I go to class on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, which is honestly great because it's only 2 days a week as opposed to like 5 days a week, right? And so by having all my classes on Saturday and Sunday, I can then give readings and travel and just, whatever, take care of other stuff in my life from Monday through Friday. And that's honestly works very well for me in just my schedule here. But yeah, it's been a lot. Like, I have so many new astrology books right now. There's this bookstore at my university, right? And I just feel like I'm constantly needing to go there to buy new books. But it's fascinating. I had like the cutest exchange with one of the shopkeepers there today. Because they will introduce you or like ask you like, where is your Jupiter, right? Like this guy who, as I say, he's always in the shop, right? Probably doesn't make that much money. And I didn't like assume he knew much about astrology, which is like, I don't know why I ever would have thought that. Because like he knows probably like as much if not more than like my professors, and I just love that. Like he's clearly like so like read all the books that he sells me. And there was just this thing today, like to anyone who knows Vedic astrology, right, there's the panchang, right, which allows you to know specific placements of things, but it's all in Hindi, and so I'm dying in my class because it's so hard. Like I'm doing the best I can to kind of just piece together the characters I have memorized, but they change a lot and there's all these abbreviations and stuff like that, so it's hard, to like when they ask us to look up certain things, like I'm struggling with, first of all, learning, the astrology barrier, but then on top of that, the Hindi barrier, right? So it was just so nice though today because one of the shopkeepers pulled out like this, English version. It's an ephemeris, actually. It wasn't the panchang necessarily, because that is, I think, pretty much only printed in Hindi, actually. But this other book that he sold me, I don't know why I don't have the books with me to show, but I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. But it's all in English. It's very easy for me to read and understand, and I'm so happy. And like, this is like such a nerdy thing to talk about, I guess, but like, I don't know, like it's little stuff like that make me like just happy to be learning and studying a subject that I'm like super passionate about. And I love that like all of my teachers also have a lot of just like honestly enthusiasm talking about astrology. And like I just feel like some of the conversations that I have in my class are so interesting and like so funny. Like I don't know, we just talk about the weirdest stuff because it's just like, I mean, and again, like I am really grateful to honestly have like my American Western tropical astrology perspective and lens through which I'm learning Vedic astrology, because again, there are things that they practice and believe in Western, right? For example, like exalted planets, which a lot of Western astrologers I've been talking to tend to see exalted planets as like the planet's almost like too drunk on that energy, right? So like a Venus Pisces, right, where Venus exalts in the sign of Pisces, it's like seen as like not always a good thing, right? But I feel like in Vedic astrology, they just think like exalted planets are seen as like amazing, and like just solve all your life troubles if you have that kind of placement, so I don't know, it's just interesting. And again, this is such a like nerdy astrology conversation I'm having, but anyone who gets it, I'm sure you can appreciate what I'm saying. But yeah, it's just like I said, I'm really glad I ended up taking this course. It's stressful. As I said, it's like I have one exam that's 3 hours at the end of each semester. Last semester, I was so proud of myself for how I did. Like I definitely scored in like the top 25% of my class, which again, like I was at least proud of myself, right? I mean, I'm not expecting myself to be perfect. And as I said, like the Hindi and the Sanskrit barriers, like it's a lot, I think it's a little harder for any Westerner, person to kind of learn because of all those obstacles, right? But it's just, I don't know, like, it's given me a lot more to think about. And as I said, I think the tropical Western system is very simplistic, very, like, watered down, and lacks so many of the things, and just, like, I don't know, like, scientific methods and that I feel like are really, really, built into Vedic astrology. So just for me, it's like there's no comparison, like one system is just far superior than the other, in a lot of ways. And again, I don't mean to like, okay, I'll take it back, but I think it's a shame. Anyone who's like into astrology, like, you need to learn the sidereal system, you need to learn the Vedic system, because it's just, as I say, I think the Western tropical system is lacking quite a bit for some of that stuff. And it's a shame, because astrology, it just has a lot of nuance to it. It's very, very helpful when used appropriately, and can also be very, very harmful when not understood and misinterpreted. And like, there was this other thing I was talking to my friend about, and in astrology, again, it's known as the muhurtas, right? And it's basically like a time period. And so all these astrologers will then go on to try to give you predictions and whatever based on the muhurtas, right? The tithis and all this stuff, like the terms in Hindi and all that, right? So there's literally advertisements on TV with these, like, babas and, astrologers who are saying, like, okay, if you propose to your girlfriend during this muhurta, right, or during this time period, she will definitely say yes, right? And it's just like, no, like, this is just not, a way to be living. And, that's just, again, such low vibe astrology, like, to be thinking that because you wait for a specific time period to propose to your girlfriend, like, suddenly she's gonna, like, definitely say yes. Like, it doesn't work like that. So I don't know. Those are things that, like I said, like, taking this course and stuff, I'm really thinking about and discussing with my teachers, my classmates. Like, they're all so smart. Like, honestly, like, I feel so intimidated sometimes by, like, they really hold me accountable, and I'm like, seriously, like, I'm impressed for the most part. I do think, like, Indian students in general work harder. They are more, like, disciplined, like, I'm serious. Like, some of them are, like, lazier than others, of course, but, like, I really feel like compared to American students, like, they're very hardworking, generally respectful. So that's just been really, really nice for me to experience living here and going to my classes and all of that. But, yeah, I mean, apart from that, there was one thing I've been, like, thinking about, just because I've seen a lot of videos on, Instagram or whatever, and it'll be, like, the Western foreign girl taking a video or recording Indian guys around her, taking pictures, filming, stuff like that. And it just, like, it makes me cringe so much watching those kinds of videos. And just, like, because obviously I definitely get approached for photos, like, every single day, right? If I'm sitting in Lodi, like, inevitably someone is going to come over and ask for a picture. And, like, for the most part, I am happy to do that, right? Especially if it's, like, someone I gave a reading to, or a child who is adorable, and, like, I am not going to pass up an opportunity to take a really cute picture, right, with this kid, if it's going to, like, make the child and the family, like, happy. Like, I love that. I, like, again, I don't know, I've traveled a lot in my life. I've been to a lot of countries where blonde hair and really white skin was very uncommon, so I've just, like, I have kind of surrendered and accepted that, when I travel, especially to places where, like, I'm the only white person or one of the very few, I'm usually happy to take pictures. But I think it has gotten out of hand, and that's why, like, I do get why these girls are, like, filming the guys filming the girl, right? Because, like, it is really wrong. I've been in those situations before, and it's really uncomfortable for me. Like, I hate that I know that there are definitely videos already out on the internet and stuff like that, like, really obnoxious guys, frankly, have, like, they'll come over to my blanket be filming me without any permission, anything like that. And like I said, it's just, I mean, I know that's like the society we live in, and like people generally don't ask, like, can I film you? And, you know, whatever. It's, and like mostly that's fine, honestly, but I agree that it sucks when you're like, as a foreigner, feeling like all this like attention on you, and it just makes you so uncomfortable, honestly, you know. So I don't know. It's something I've definitely observed. I don't know exactly the solution. I mean, again, I use a lot of discernment with who I choose to take pictures with and who I like don't, you know. If I feel a little uncomfortable, I have no problem telling a guy or whatever, like, no, I'm not going to take a selfie with you, sorry, you know. So I don't know. It's just interesting. Like, that's just the society we live in too, though, right? I mean, everybody has their phone on them, you know, basically at all times, but it's definitely a challenge, I would say, you know, something I've definitely struggled with and confronted a lot, you know. So there was something else so I don't know, anyone who's still watching at this point, I'm really excited to kind of launch or debut this kind of matchmaking trial, I don't know, process where I'm starting just here in the Delhi area, people kind of local to this area, and hopefully gonna put together some matches over Zoom. I don't know, I've always kind of had this dream, and I honestly have seen myself as a matchmaker a lot in my life. Like, I've set up a lot of people. Whether they're still together now or not is not my problem, but it's just, I love that. I honestly love that I can connect a lot of people. And, like, I'm just really excited because I feel like there's so many people in India and Delhi who, like, want to, you know, date and be in relationships and stuff like that. And, like, again, the arranged marriage stuff here sounds horrible to me. And, like, I'm, like, so culturally sensitive as I say that. But it just seems like there's so much pressure and so many people feel obligated to do arranged marriage. And, again, that's just basically where the parent, you know, decides kind of like who you are allowed to choose from, right, that they deem as like a partner you could have, and then like basically you marry like as soon as you decide, and there's not really any period of like getting to know the person, you know. I mean, again, it varies in every situation, but that's just like so wild to me, you know, that's kind of like how a lot of people marry here. And again, I'll just, you know, again, that 1% divorce rate. I mean, I'm very curious if it's at 2% by now, because I swear I have been, a lot of women who've been coming to me lately have told me like, oh yeah, I'm getting divorced or I'm divorced. Like it's lovely, honestly. Like I have so much respect for divorced women in general, but like especially Indian divorced women, because again, that's like 1% of India, right? And like I'm getting a lot, you know, in Lodi, which is awesome. And like I said, I'm just like really proud, because like I do think that's so indicative of like, you know, women really taking back their power and not feeling like they don't have choices, right? Like I feel like in the past, you know, people feel so like they can't divorce because of the stigma, because of the fear of like how would I remarry and all this other stuff, you know. But it's just like, I think it really hurts people to not even have the option, to not feel, you know, like they will never recover if that happens to them, you know. Like that's real. And I just feel really bad that, I don't know, like again, as an American, honestly, like there's a little pressure, but not really, you know. But like I feel like all the Indian women here feel so much pressure to marry, to have all of that figured out by like 26, 25, right? And that's just, I don't know. I think like people, and like especially men, don't appreciate this enough, honestly. Like I said, I mean, but again, and men suffer from it too, and like whatever, like I don't care what you identify as, but like I just think marriage is so burdensome, and I don't think we talk about this enough. Like again, I get asked every single day, I'm not even exaggerating, by people why I'm not married yet, right? If I just turned 34, I had my birthday like 2 weeks ago, and I still get this question literally every single day, why I'm not married, why wouldn't you be married by now, you know? And it's like so, again, like, I don't even care. Like, I kind of, it's like actually funny when people say this and ask me, because I'll be like, why do you think I should get married? Or like I'll be like, convince me, right? And they kind of struggle, honestly. Like, and it's funny because it's usually like, again, married people. And again, I'm not trying to hate on marriage. I can totally appreciate that. I'm sure a lot of people might think that I have a really negative view on marriage. And again, it's like I do, and something about doing all these readings with really, or disloyal people, it does break my heart. Like, it really makes me like just feel, I don't know, a little hopeless in terms of like monogamy and commitment and stuff like that, because I'm a very sensitive person, and I'm always like honest about that. And it's like, I don't know, just something about like cheating on someone. I don't know if I want to be vulnerable enough to be in that position, honestly, which is weird to think about too. But like, I literally was considering, because again, I froze my eggs a couple years ago, and I was like, okay, you know what, like, what are my options if I just genuinely don't want to marry and I just want to raise these kids by myself? Like, I've considered that, and again, I still think I would ultimately like to find a partner and stuff like that, but like, a part of me is surrendered to like, I can also totally do it by myself. Like, I know a lot of single mothers, and I have so much respect for them. And, like, I see that it would be possible, and, like, not something that I would even hate necessarily. Like, I definitely love Gilmore Girls, right, where it's, like, the mom and the daughter combo, right? So, and I don't know. It's just, that's definitely something I've also been thinking about in terms of my options and options available to, all women or whatever, parents, people raising children, It's a lot to reflect on. But anyway, this was a, kind of long-winded, random, just talking about everything going on, but would totally love anyone who's made it this far. If you know anything about astrology and just anything I was mentioning, definitely let me know what you think. But yeah, thanks for watching.